Right, this is the lesson for Scratch Lesson 10, timer, and so we're going to just make a timer from scratch. So the first thing we need to do is click Create, and go ahead and say this as timer underscore and then whatever your last name is. Alright, so we need 2 sprites. I get tired of Scratch Cat, so I'm just going to go ahead and pick a different couple of sprites. So maybe I want that one. So go ahead and pick 2 sprites. It doesn't matter which ones you pick. Alright, so we have these 2 sprites, and we're going to get rid of the Scratch Cat because we don't need him anymore. So we're going to delete. Let's go ahead and name one of them Timer 1 and the other one Timer 2. So I'm going to take this blue guy and just click the eye and call him Timer 1. And this one is going to be called Timer 2. Okay, so we have our timers, and now we need our couple of variables, one for Timer 1 and one for Timer 2. So I'm going to go to Data and make a variable, and just call this one Timer 1. Okay, and I'm going to put it right above my Timer 1, but I want it just to be just like that. So it doesn't need to say timer, just the numbers is fine. And I'm going to do the same thing for my Timer 2. So I'm going to go make a variable and call it Timer 2 and put it above my Timer 2 sprite, and there we go. Alright, so that's just all what the basis that we need to go ahead and start the code. Now there's 2 different ways to do a timer, and I am going to show you both of them. So let's start with Timer 1, which happens to be the easier. So when the green flag is clicked, the green flag is clicked, we want to set our timer for whatever amount of time. So I'm on Timer 1, I'm going to go to Data and set Timer 1, and we'll just do 10 seconds. And then, so our timer is set for 10 seconds. And if we looked at this right now, if I click the green flag, my timer is set for 10 seconds. And we want it to count down for 1 second, we want it to go down by 1 every second. So I'm going to choose a repeat loop, and I want to repeat it 10 times. And I want to wait 1 second, and then change my timer by -1 second. So I'm going to change Timer 1 by -1. So let me save that just to make sure. But you can look and see that once I click it, my Timer 1 is going down. When it is finished, I want it just to say time's up. Time's up. So let's go ahead and just check to make sure that works. Time's up. Great. So that's just one timer. A little clue, if you like this timer, you can put it in your backpack. And if you look down at the bottom of your screen, you'll see a backpack. And this is stuff that you can keep with you and then just grab when you need it. And it'll go to every sprite project. So you just pick up the code and just drop it in your backpack. And then if you ever wanted to, you can just pull it out of your backpack. Alright, so let's work on Timer 2. Now Timer 2 is also going to start when the green flag is clicked, and we want to set Timer 2 to 10 seconds. So set Timer 2 to 10 seconds. So not much has changed. But we're going to add an if-else statement. The first timer works really well if it's just like you always want it to be 10 seconds. This one works if your timing changes a lot, like it's going to be 10 seconds now or 20 seconds later. It's just a little bit easier to change. So let's see. Oh, I did want to put a forever, sorry. We're going to do a forever block with an if-then block or an if-else block in there. So if my timer 2 equals 0 seconds, I want it to say time's up. So I'm going to grab an equal operator and my timer 2, and if it equals 0, it's going to say time is up. So say, and I don't even need to have it say it for 2 seconds. I can just say time is up or time's up. Okay. If my time doesn't equal 0, I want to have my time change. So I'm going to grab another if block, and if my timer is greater than 0, so I'm going to grab a greater than, and if timer 2 is greater than 0, I want to wait 1 second and change time on timer 2 by -1. Okay, so that is everything we need to get a timer working. So let's go ahead and see if it works. So I'm going to click that green flag, and both of them start at time, and they're all going down equally by 1 second. And then both of them should reach 0 seconds and say time is up. And I'm looking to make sure that it does not go into negative numbers, because I do not want it to go into like -1, 2, 3. This is good. So if you turned in this Scratch project as is, that would give you a 3. If you want to get the 4, you will need to have the sprites do something else when time is up. So look at the examples of the class. I have an example on the class about things that you can do, like you can have the sprite turn around or switch costumes. Maybe you could have the background change. There's options. So yeah, so go ahead and take a minute or two to do that and then turn it in. All right, thank you so much.